All right, friends, welcome back to PrepperNow. This video today, we're going to be talking about F.A.F.O and Antifa. And as you can read the AI description of Antifa and how they are not that violent, it's debatable. I'll be showing you a lot of images, and all one has to do is a cursory look at Portland and what's been going on at the ICE facility out there to show that, yeah, there's a lot of violence about to happen, and they're about to F.A.F.O. Welcome to PrepperNow.
Please, Lord, help me get one more.
All right, friends, thanks so much for being here. This one is an interesting one because a lot of the people in the political class on the left are now starting to call for, well, they're not saying outright attack people, but the language they're using is of that nature. And, you know, when people are mentally ill, like a lot of these people are, then they start to do things. They're violent. Now, you know, they think this is going to help their cause. They think that when Hakeem Jeffries tells them to take to the streets, that they should go and do that and engage in physical actions. When you've got Maxine Waters saying confront them at every turn, it speaks to them in ways that kind of makes them go violent. Senator Ron Wyden has said these things. Warren of Massachusetts. There's been numerous instances where representatives of the Democratic Party have come out and said, go out and confront them, and we're going to have to bring the fight and all that, and basically using, you know, political kind of dancing around it, but basically telling their base that they need to attack people. You remember the crosshairs that were on Sarah Palin. These are all things that have been going on for quite some time. Here's the problem. The people on the left for the last 10 to 15, 20 years, honestly, since, you know, Weather Underground in the 1970s, which this is where these people come from, they're a voting base of activist, rampaging vandals that like to loot and destroy, and they've been doing it now for many, many years and really intensifying those after the last few years. But the problem is that there's never any responsibility. And of course, according to them, they're going to be doing things that are going to help their cause and get people to vote for them and agree with them. But people don't like chaos. People don't like violence. So as Sun Tzu says, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. And I think this tactic by the left is not going to work. Sun Tzu also goes on to say, he will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. These people have been trying to fight their entire time. This is their modus operandi. They think in their minds that fighting is the best means to get, you know, their political, whatever the heck it is, because we've covered this many times. They don't have any kind of a political platform anymore. So honestly, what they really want is just control. So, you know, from the way they think, all of this behavior is absolutely justified. In fact, in many ways, it is a moral good, which we all know that violence in no way is a moral good. They have done countless, you know, amount of money worth of damage to property. We have seen from the St. Floyd, you know, riots of 2020, all of the destruction that they have done, the terror, the property, you know, just the mostly peaceful as the fire rages in the background. What they don't know is that this moment is going to be really devastating for them because things have changed. People do not want this type of action anymore. People want to get back to normal. People want a normal two-party system. And our friends on the left are not in any way, shape, or form mentally able to do that anymore. Another Sun Tzu quote, "Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win." And that's exactly what is going on right now. But they don't see it. The mental illness is too thick. So this kind of is their F around and find out moment. So for the last decade or so, our political leaders on the left have basically stoked the flames of these people and pushed them to go and to do this. And it just turns savages into more savage behavior, and they have become more crazy. Because in their mind, the ends justifies the means. And they think that they, again, are on the moral side of history. So every time they go out, and they do this, well, in the past, they have not had anybody hold them accountable on a criminal justice kind of level. Well, that is now changed. As we just saw yesterday, there were 10 activists in, I believe, Texas that are going to have the book thrown at them. And as they spiral out into violence and destruction, this kind of thing is going to become more of a story that you read about these people going crazy. And the problem I have is that it's going to perpetuate it even further. So they have grown up with the belief that whatever they do, they can do because they know they're not going to be held accountable for it. But the problem is that now, to them, they are starting to be accountable or held accountable. So they can go and they can rampage and do all the crazy stuff. But as soon as it gets figured out who these people are, well, and they will, they're going to get the book thrown at them. So as these political masters go out and tell them to go and run, crazy in the streets and be mostly peaceful as the fires rage in the background, the functioning of the law is going to start to work on them, and it's going to start to basically be used against them. And a lot of these actors, from what they've previously been used to not having any kind of accountability thrown at them, well, it's going to happen. Meanwhile, the people on the right, all we have to do is sit back, let them run crazy, figure out who they are, get them into the criminal justice system, and then from there, well, it doesn't really matter because, again, people are going to watch this from home and say, you know what, I don't want to be any part of that. I'll end on another quote from Sun Tzu. "The greatest victory is that which requires no battle." So sit back and watch them self-immolate because it's coming. Because, again, they're mentally ill. Friends, hopefully you like what we're doing here. Hit the links in the description and follow us around on all the different sites, X, Truth, Gab, Minds, on Subscribestar and Locals. And then, of course, here on YouTube on this channel, PrepperNow, Crisis Report, and we're posting more on Rumble. God bless and have a great day.